लितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। गौरसरचत्रामितनिधि गौर सर्वं स्तुवे गौरेण प्रतितं रहस्य भजनं गौरं सर्वं ददे गौरस्ति कृपालुरात्रिनपरो गौरस्य भृत्य स्वभावां गौर गौरमचरामि भगवान् गौर प्रभु रक्ष माम्। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपीकांत राधाकांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। भक्त्या विहीनाय अपराधलक्ष्यै क्षिप्तश्च कामादितरङ्गमध्ये कृपामयि तं शरणं प्रपन्न वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम्। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। बोलो हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Yeah, we have this best singer here and best mridanga player in Holland, Nimai, the whole world. शीशी भजन रहस्य। राय प्रभु कहे कौन विद्या विद्या मध्य सार। Mahaprabhu asked question, which is the knowledge? What is the knowledge which is the essence of all knowledge? राय कहे कृष्ण भक्ति बिना विद्या नहीं आर। So Mahaprabhu asked this question, what is the most important of all fields of knowledge? Wait. Which is the most important of all fields of knowledge? Rai Ramanan replied, except for Krishna Bhakti, no other education is important. You understand? Who's telling this? Shri Ramanand Rai. Mahaprabhu came to Ramanand Rai to hear this from him. Vidya Madhye, Kaun Vidya, Vidya Madhye Sar. And Ramanand Rai replied, Krishna Bhakti Vina Vidya Nahi Aar. There is two kind of Vidya. One is Para and other is Apara. Material knowledge, and then there is spiritual knowledge. Many people can be very educated. Okay, so when I'm speaking, please don't text anything. Then I get little distracted. Later on, we can discuss this. This is from Chaitanya Chaitamrit, Madhya Leela 8.245. Krishna Bhakti Vina Vidya Nahi Aar. Okay. Except for Krishna Bhakti, no other education is important. Wait. Once upon a time, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, he asked one of his very prominent associate, right hand of Srila Prabhupada. He asked him in one lecture, which was given in Bengali. So he asked his disciple, who was very scholarly, and when he used to speak Hari Katha, it was like exactly as Srila Prabhupada is speaking Hari Katha. Oh, exactly like him. After the 1 hour lecture was over, Srila Prabhupada asked him, "Can you translate this, the entire lecture in German language?" And he immediately translated that, word to word. And all devotees got shocked. What? He's not only fluent in Sanskrit, Bengali, English, Hindi, but he can speak a foreign language. And without any hesitation and word to word translation. Everyone started clapping. But Srila Prabhupada conclusion is that can be surprising for us also, right? So I'm just trying to give you a clarity, which I every day I'm telling. Adhikar bhed, difference of qualification. And we have to act according to our adhikar. We can't transgress our adhikar and just start speaking like, like Gurudev is speaking. Understand? If a small baby, 5 year, this example, this girl here, 5 year young girl, if she starts speaking like her grandmom, it doesn't suit to her personality, right? She speak like a child, then it suits to her personality. That is her qualification. That's her adhikar. And if a grandmom starts speaking like a child, also doesn't look nice. So acting in one's adhikar is appropriate. We can't just start imitating like Gurudev because of his adhikar is different from our adhikar. And when we grow in our adhikar, we understand things, we understand the literature, we understand the meaning of the words according to adhikar. Just like, let's say this verse, Sabe punsa paro dharma yatha bhakti adhokshaje. What is the prime duty of all the living entities? To serve Krishna, whose name is Adhokshaj. Adhokshaj means who is beyond the senses and mind. But if any acharya, any rasik acharya hearing this, what he will conclude? Parodharma. Parodharma is Parakya Dharma. Parodharma in general sense means the prime duty. But from the Rasik Vaishnav's point of view, Parodharma means Parakya Dharma. That's the best amongst all other dharmas, which was exhibited by the gopis. And for that reason, Mahaprabhu came in this world to establish the glories of the gopis because of this Parakya Dharma. That they all married to someone else, but they have love for Krishna. Krishna is the center of their life. And Shri Rupa Goswami Pad, Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rup Kadamayam Dadati Swapadankitam. Shri Rupa Goswami Pad established this Parodharma in all his books. And following the footsteps of Rupa Goswami Pad, then Jeev Goswami Pad, Vishnu Chakra Thakur, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, our Gurudev established this Parodharma. So different adhikar. What I was saying. So, if, for example, if I go to a German and and I start speaking German language there, means any lecture, everyone will be shocked. What? And we will think, oh, a general, a common understanding will be, oh, he's so fluent in a foreign language. He's Acharya. He can be pure. He's pure devotee because he knows so much. But this education has nothing to do with the surrenderness of Krishna. Try to understand this point. When Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada heard this, and all devotees glorified that person, that devotee. Srila Prabhupada said, doesn't matter if you can speak the whole lecture in German language. That's not the symptom of Sharanagati. Understand? What Srila Prabhupada is establishing there, something very high, for which we can't understand. We see the qualities of a person, whereas Krishna Bhakti is not dependent on qualities. Although Krishna Bhakti needs those qualities which are favorable to serve Krishna, but Krishna Bhakti is not dependent on the qualities. If someone can say, Maharaj, I don't know anything, I can't sing, I can't cook, I can't speak, my life is useless. Person feel depressed. What is the use of my life? I'm just living a life like a bug. Waste. But it's not. Seeing someone having some qualities and seeing that I don't possess any of this quality of singing, etc. Or for example, I can't sing melodious like others. That is not a that's not a test, a barometer to measure that someone is qualified for bhakti or not. So if someone is engineer, someone is doctor or master degree holder, PhD, oh, he can do bhakti because he's very educated. No, there is no consideration of this. Srila Prabhupada's comment is very subtle, not on a gross level like us. Our consideration, our calculation is on a gross level. Whereas spiritual world is all subtle level. Above earth, more we go above earth is subtle. More down is gross. So those planets which are below earth, they're more gross, more gross, more gross. The gross understanding and the gross dealings. And more we go up, like in Swargaloka, the abode of demigods. They don't have gross bodies like us. They have subtle bodies. And that's why the dealings are also very subtle here. But that's just here above Earth. But there are other planets above Swargaloka. So what make them more glorious? The the subtleties of those points of Shastras. Imagine the knowledge what Krishna is giving in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. And Krishna spoke this verse, Api che suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak. Sadhu eva mantavya samyak vyasatihi saha. If a person with immoral conduct still his one-pointed devotion to me considered him as sadhu. Can we digest this? What Krishna is saying, and is saying very strictly, don't criticize that person. Okay, what's the consequence when we criticize someone? It's very easy. If we criticize someone, all that points which we are seeing in him or her get reflect to us. It get reflect to us. When we glorify someone, then the good qualities comes and reflect to us. So this shloka of Bhagavad Gita was being discussed in Swargaloka by demigods. And it's very hard for them to digest this. How is possible? We're not understanding this. How is possible? A person with immoral conduct. Krishna said, I'm saying this. I'm saying this because I'm Krishna, I'm the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Aham Sarvasva Prabhu. I'm the Lord of everyone. You have to believe this. The person is still sadhu. Because of this one point, he is one-pointed devotion to me. Okay. Demigods confused how to solve this, how to understand this. And they're very educated, they know so much. They also know subtle point, that's why they are in Swargaloka. But still, this point is that subtle, which even we can't digest, and even they were also not able to digest. Then they brought Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Understand? On a chariot, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur went to Swargaloka and solved this. Who's saying this? I'm not saying this. Srila Bhakti Raksha Sridhar Goswami Maharaj is writing this point. That Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur went there to make them understand, because Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is beyond the demigods. He's from Golok Vrindavan. He's Kamala Manjari. He knows the mood of Krishna. Understand? Srila Bhakti Raksha Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, he gave account of this. From his book, I'm telling this point, not from my own. He said, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, demigods took Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Swargaloka, in that abode, and therefore he solved this problem there. Because they were trying to understand this with gross understanding. Whereas Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is trying to explain this with subtle point, with a subtle understanding. So when we read scriptures, according to one's adhikar qualification, one understands the purport. the meaning of the scriptures. Everyone cannot understand in the same level because adhikar bhed, difference of qualification. Just like Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj used to say, Tomar China Bhakti Pragyan, Amar China Bhakti Pragyan Ek Nai. Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj used to say, your understanding of Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, Goswami Maharaj, and my understanding of Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj is not one. Even though, let's say, Param Gurudev gave some order, so everyone is not on a subtle level to understand that order. They're acting on a gross level. Whereas Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj, our Srila Gurudev, Srila Trikram Goswami Maharaj, they know the internal mood, the purport of Srila Param Gurudev. Srila Bhakti Thakur knows the internal mood of Krishna, why he said this. And for what purpose, for what reason he's saying this. That's Vidya. So see, Srila Bhakti Thakur, material qualification, he was magistrate. Being a magistrate is not simple. Imagine, Srila Bhakti Thakur was so powerful and very high position, and that was a British rule in India that time. If you go Godrum Deep, if you visit Godrum Deep, where the house of Srila Bhakti Thakur still there, and memories of Srila Bhakti Thakur is there in that house. His bed, his fan, his light, all these things are still there. So the British department, the government, they started a train right in front of his house so that he can come to his office. He's traveling. We have our cars at our doorstep to take us. But they supplied a train right in front of his house. That was his personality. Okay. And from the spiritual perspective, material knowledge, magistrate, and spiritual knowledge, how many books he wrote, how many songs he is writing. Dash Mula Tattva. In just Dash Mula Tattva, he wrote everything. Jeev Tattva, Maya Tattva, Krishna Tattva, Sambandha Tattva, Abhiday Tattva, Prayojan Tattva, everything in Dash Mula Tattva. And we see Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj. Any material qualification? No. Can't even write his name. But spiritual topics, very, 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 very intellectual. Even though he can't read and write. But he used to give purport of the shlokas of Srimad Bhagavatam, which by hearing that, Srila Prabhupada get amazed. How Babaji Maharaj know this without reading any book? So, surrenderness, Sharanagati is more important than material education and even qualities. All these qualities have nothing to do with bhakti. Again, don't get confused that we don't need these qualities. Otherwise, how are we going to serve Krishna? If someone is learning verses, as Srila Gurudev always used to say, learn verses. So why he wanted us to learn? Gurudev used to say, learn archan, taking care of deities, learn cooking, learn verses. Then why he was telling us? Because we lack those qualities to serve Krishna. and so that we can center ourselves in the service of Krishna. So for that, we are developing those qualities by which we can serve Krishna. But to some extent, not too much. Oh, Gurudev told me to learn cooking, so let me just join some cooking classes. In the sense that, paying $500, any materialistic person teaching cooking, no. Whatever is necessary, only that much. We have to teach others, not that we have to become totally engrossed in that this kitchen is everything. So everything has some stability of understanding and then applying. Understand? Gurudev also used to say to children, they must read and they should know read and writing, learning in school and colleges to get qualification for preaching. So what's the purpose behind Gurudev saying this? Preaching. But that doesn't mean one who is not qualified, who is not going to school, is useless. The focus is service of Krishna. Who is the goddess of learning? Saraswati. Vagisha yasya vadne lakshmir yasya vakshasi yasyaste hide samvit tam narsingham bhaje. Vagisha yasya vadne. Saraswati Devi. In the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being Nimai Pandit in Navdeep Dham, and he's showing his glories of knowledge. Krishna, he has all opulence, right? Aishwarasya, Samagrasya, Virasya, Yasasya, Shriya, Gyan, Vairagya. Mahaprabhu is showing his opulence of Gyan. And he used to teach students in Navdeep Dham, the bank of Ganga, teaching all students, and he's showing off so much. Being Nimai Pandit, just like Krishna in Brajalila, lifting Govardhan hill, killing Putana, so much opulence, showing his strength. Mahaprabhu is also Krishna, showing his strength of knowledge. So Mahaprabhu is teaching those his friends in Navdeep Dham. And once upon a time, Keshav Kashmiri, very fluent in scriptures, who knows so much, and Saraswati Varputra, that was his title, means the blessed son of Saraswati. His worshipable was Saraswati Devi, and he always used to worship Saraswati Devi. But that knowledge which he acquired by the blessings of Saraswati Devi, the goddess of learning, you heard Saraswati Devi? I think in February, there's a day called Vasant Panchami. That's the day of worshipping Saraswati Devi. Very auspicious day. We have so many tithis in one day. Again, that's the most auspicious day to start any traveling, start any work, moving the new house, or any other purpose. Vasant Panchami. It comes in January or February. So, Disciplines Day of Raghunath Das Goswami, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, and Vasant Ras of Krishna, Saraswati Puja, 5, 6 tithis in one day. Very auspicious day. So that day, uh, general people, they worship Saraswati Devi because goddess of learning. So those who are musicians, artists, they worship their instruments on that day. I've seen them doing this. So Keshav Kashmiri, very learned, Saraswati Varaputra, blessings by Saraswati Devi. He came, he defeated so many scholars and got Jai Patra, the letter of victory, from all those with whom he had arguments on scriptures, and he got victory over them. But he heard Nimai Pandit in Navdeep Dham, also very intellectual. And Navdeep Dham in those days was a center of all education. When you go to when we go to Navdeep Dham Parikrama, we visit this place called Vidyanagar. Mm. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote very nice, beautiful song. I really love that song. Vidyara Vilase. Start from here. Anyway, later. So that's the, like, right now we say Oxford University is the best university. So difficult to get admission in Oxford University. Shri Navdeep Dham and this Vidyanagar was the Oxford University in those days. People from overseas, they used to come Navdeep Dham for learning. Shri Valmiki, he wrote Ramayan at Vidyanagar. Srila Ved Vyasji, he wrote scriptures at Vidyanagar. The origin of all Vidya, the original of all knowledge is Vidyanagar. And Mahaprabhu used to have Vidya Vilas. Vilas means enjoying pastimes. Like we have Radha Krishna Vilas. Radha Krishna, they enjoy conjugal love. That's their Vilas. Mahaprabhu has Vidya Vilas. Vidya means knowledge. Vilas of Vidya. Enjoyment Vidya. So, Mahaprabhu used to teach there. Keshav Kashmiri, he heard about Nimai Pandit, very scholarly personality. And he came asking whereabouts of Nimai Pandit. And they told he always give educational lecture the bank of Ganga every evening. Keshav Kashmiri came with debating mood, arguing with Nimai Pandit. And he set forth some, when he came there, so much arrogant to get this letter of victory from Nimai Pandit. Uh, he saw Nimai Pandit sitting so much effulgent. He said, I want this Jai Patra from you, the letter of victory. I defeated all scholars throughout the country. I heard your name. I also want this too. So you have any doubt? Do you have any question? They asked. Mahaprabhu said, Holy river Ganga is flowing. Can you glorify Ganga? And he, in just few seconds, he created 100 shlokas of in glorification of Ganga Devi. Created, not just what is written, he learned and he's speaking. But he made 100 shlokas, just like Arjun, he shoot arrows. Yeah, in 1 second, he can shoot 100 arrows. That expert. Similarly, he just in few seconds, he created new shlokas in glorification of Ganga Devi. All the students sitting there, Surprised, amazed. What? He knows so much? And Mahaprabhu is smiling. When he saw Mahaprabhu smiling, he asked this question. Why are you smiling? Mahaprabhu said, because I found one fault in your recitation of verses. Fault in my verses? What do you think of yourself? You don't know about me? I am Keshav Kashmiri. Nimai Pandit said, but there is fault. Oh, tell me, what is the fault? And Mahaprabhu picked up one shlok from the middle of 100 shlokas. He said, this is the fault. What is that fault? In that verse, he mentioned, he addressed holy river Ganga as, there's a very many details in that, but I'm coming to the point. Bhavani Bharata. You address Shiva who carries Ganga on his head. And the wife of Shiva is Bhavani. Bhavani means Durga. By addressing Bhavani, Bharata means husband of Durga. That's the fault. First of all, Keshav Kashmiri got again surprised. I spoke verses in one few seconds. And how he learned those verses. He's Shrutidhar. Shrutidhar means one who hears and immediately he can remember. Or she can remember. Shrutidhar. Just by hearing, remembering. You don't have to learn. Hearing, remembering. Shrutidhar. Keshav Kashmiri got surprised. How he knows? Because I spoke. For example, चारु सौभाग्य रेखाड्य गंधोन्मादित माधव संगीत परसर विज्ञ रम्य वाक नर पंडिता विनीत कर्ण पूर्ण विदग्ध पट्टान्विता लज्जाशील सुमर्यादया धैर्य गंभीर शालिनी सुविलास महाभाव परमोत्कर्ष दर्शनी गोकुल प्रेम वसति जगशनी जगलसा गुरु अर्पिता गुरु स्नेह सखी वनति वश कृष्ण प्रियावली मुख्य संतदाश्र केशवा. No, I'm not Shrutidhar, I just learned this. But I'm just giving example how Keshav Kashmiri was speaking this verses like this, more fast than this. And Mahaprabhu picked up something which was mistaken. He said, that's wrong. You said Bhavani Bharata. Bhavani means husband of Bhava. Sorry, wife of Bhava. Bhava means Shiva. Try to understand this. This Hindi word, real complicated to understand. Bhava means Shiva. And when the word Ani means Bhavani is used, that means wife of Shiva, Durga. Like Shiva name is Shiva. And other name of Durga is Shivani. So when some words add in that word, that means the consort of Shiva. Shiva, Shivani. Indra, Indrani means the wife. Similarly, another name of Shiva is Bhava. And saying Bhavani means wife of Shiva. Bhavani. So when we say already, listen carefully. When it is already said Bhavani, it is understood Durga, who is wife of Shiva. And if we write Bharata, Bharata means husband. So what was the mistake of Keshav Kashmiri? Just by writing Bhavani, it understood she is wife of Shiva, and writing Bharata means she has another husband. She has another husband. Mahaprabhu said, that's your mistake. And Keshav Kashmiri, he understood his mistake. He felt so embarrassed in front of all the students who were there. He came in his room and he was lamenting. First time it happened. I got defeated by a young boy, and he found fault in my recitation of verses. He found fault, and what he found fault, the mistake was actually correct and genuine. Oh goddess of learning, oh Saraswati, how I can how can I get defeated by a boy? I always worship you. You always helped me. Why today I got defeated? Because I was there to get this letter of victory, Jai Patra. And is crying and praying to goddess of learning, Saraswati. Then Saraswati Devi, she came there. She gave her darshan, and by seeing the goddess of learning, he folded hands praying. And she said, you didn't got defeated by a young boy. He is my Lord. I worship his lotus feet. He is the Lord of my life. He is Bhagwan. So it was so confusing for some people to understand that Nimai Pandit is Bhagwan, because their understanding got bewildered by external energy of the Lord, Mahamaya. And when one is get bewildered by the external energy of the Lord, person start acting on gross level. Materialistic people in the world, what are their actions? Gross level enjoyment. Eat, drink, and be merry. Drink. How much can you drink? They're drinking, huh? New Year Eve, Christmas. I don't know what Christmas, but New Year Eve, drinking, and I was in Germany 2 years back at Stuttgart. They have one carnival. Oh goodness, terrible. All together, bottles, drinking, and what is the result? Lying on the ground, on the road. So cold in the night, and police has to take them to their residence. They're just lying on the ground. That's the enjoyment. That you lose your senses and your consciousness is called gross level enjoyment. And not one or two. It was just like everyone was just lying. I was thinking to sprinkle Charnamrit of Lord to them. drinking, and oh, like competition. I'll drink one bottle, you bring two bottles, and oh, they all lying there on the ground. I mean, on the road. Imagine. Huh. And all other nonsense enjoyment. Gross level enjoyment. They can't even perceive there's anything beyond this enjoyment because gross. Moment they get touch of subtle enjoyment, as Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, Rasam Varjam Rasam Shreshnam. This verse, when you develop a higher taste, you give up the lower taste. What is this meaning of higher and lower taste? Gross and subtle. I've seen some people in Holland also, meat eater, everyday meat throughout life, can't live without meat, everyday meat. But today, because of change, transformation, become Vaishnavas. No cigarette, no alcohol, no meat eating, and Vaishnavas and serving the deities. So nice bhajan, so much service. Worse meat eater, because understood the gravity of subtle enjoyment, not gross, on subtle point. If you see that scene, oh my God, today I'm speaking, I got flashback of that Stuttgart Carnival. And there's one Prabhu, still he's present. He was chain smoker, 64 cigarettes a day. Instead of following 64 limbs of bhakti, 64 cigarettes in North India, Jammu. He's still, and he just got change. What enjoyment is there in smoking 64 cigarettes? This is called gross level enjoyment. But he heard Srila Gurudev lecture. Only 30 minutes Gurudev lecture he heard. This he personally told me when he invited me. He invited me for prasadam in his house program. Saying, Maharaj, I was the one. He boldly saying this. I was the one who was smoking 64 cigarettes every single day. I asked him, how you got time to smoke this much? Said uh, every room, walking, sitting, lying, bathroom, everywhere. But he heard Srila Gurudev lecture, just 30 minutes. And with that lecture, transformation. He promised his wife, I swear on my daughters. He had 3 daughters. I swear on my daughters, I will never smoke in my life. This Guru, I heard him, very short, 30 minutes. Oh, everything's changed. By hearing Gurudev lecture, he got changed. And he's chanting 32 rounds, 64 rounds. He's still present. His Gurudev disciple. And next day he came and took initiation from Gurudev. And he said, I was like this since yesterday. Am I qualified for initiation? I want Harinam Diksha from you. And Gurudev, subtle vision. We have gross vision. And we were thinking how this person is qualified. Let him take some time. What if he starts smoking again and is getting initiation? So much impurity still in his heart, in his body. But he asked this question. He said, Gurudev, folded hands. He was sitting on the ground. Gurudev was sitting on his bed. I still remember that. He said, am I qualified for initiation? Till yesterday, I was smoking. But I took a promise and I swear on my daughters, I will not do this. Gurudev said, yes, you are qualified. If you're asking you're qualified or not, yes, you're qualified. And he took initiation from Gurudev. And later on, he took the second initiation. And very sincerely doing his bhajan. You see, that's called subtle. So there is something which is called gross. There is something which is called subtle. Practicing Krishna consciousness is transformation from the gross level to subtle level. You all can still see me? Something happened to my screen. Yes. So he prayed to Saraswati Devi, and Saraswati Devi gave him this information that Nimai Pandit is not ordinary boy. He's my Lord. I worship his lotus feet. And next day, he came and asked forgiveness from Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu just smiling. So this is not the end of the story. This is the beginning of the story. Now I'm coming to the conclusion of the story. So far we are hearing Mahaprabhu's Vidya Vilas. He defeating Keshav Kashmiri, such a big scholar, and he's troubling so many Brahmins on the streets of Navdeep, showing his arrogance. But actually, he possessed the real ego. We have false ego. But Krishna, Mahaprabhu, if anyone says, oh, they're arrogant, yes, of course, because that's the real ego, because he is the source of all knowledge. Knowledge emanated from him. He gave all knowledge imparted in the heart of Brahmaji. And it came down from Guru Parampara in our lineage to Naraji, Vedvyaji and all. Yeah. So who is the source of all knowledge? Krishna. With his flute, he gave a mantra to Brahmaji, Kling, and Brahmaji got initiation. So if someone asks the question, only personal presence of Gurudev should be there, and disciples should sit in front of Gurudev receiving mantra, then it's called initiation. But if Gurudev is not directly in front and we having video call initiation, that's not something bona fide. That's not true. Like it happened with Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj. He gave so many initiations on screen worldwide. It happened with Srila Gurudev also in his time. Many initiations took place on screen. But if someone says, but for us, it is always good to be right in front of Gurudev and hear from him and serve him. That's true. But if there is no possibility like this, we are far distant, and there's no possibility Gurudev can come visit us or we can go to him, then what's the option? Don't waste time. Don't waste time. Oh, after lockdown, next Kartik, very auspicious. Oh, you going to survive till next Kartik? Are you sure? Oh, then you are glorious if you know this. You're Antaryami. When I was serving my Guru Maharaj, year 1998 in Jagannath Puri Dham, my Guru Maharaj was also, he was 99 years old. And when I was with him, one of our godbrother, he was preaching to some engineer students, engineering students, sorry. And he called and said, I preached and there's some young boys, they wanted to come and have initiation from Guru Maharaj. So which day is best? We saw the calendar and said, yeah, next week. He said, oh, no. Now we have holidays. I mean, those students have holidays. They have to go to their families. So we can come in Karthik. It's very auspicious. That was year 1999. Guru Maharaj was 102 years old. Yes. Year 99 and Guru Maharaj was 102 years old. His birth 1898. So my godbrother, Madhapriya Prabhu, he laughed on his phone. I said, why are you laughing? He said, see what he's saying? Kartik is auspicious. The month of Radharani to get initiation. I said, but you have to express him. Why you are laughing? Maybe he will not understand. Then he said, Prabhu, are you sure all the students, they're going to survive till Kartik? Who knows what will happen? And who knows if Guru Maharaj will leave? So don't waste your time. Come right away. Otherwise, later you will lament. You will be bereft of this high-class association and high-class Vaishnava on the whole planet with initiation. Say, no. Nothing will happen. Kartik is just after 2 months or after a month. Something was like that. So the students, they went back to their families, spent time there. And in the last day of Kartik, Guru Maharaj, he left this world. They didn't came. And later they lament so much. Such a golden opportunity of getting initiation. But now, no. I mean, there are many other initiating spiritual masters, but not like him, who was senior most on the whole planet. Guru Maharaj was, holding the whole planet. 102 years old. Seen 3 generations. Associate of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada got initiation 1923. So, without delay, this has to be done without any delay. Don't waste time in this. So the question comes, what I was trying to explain is, when Gurudev was giving initiation on phone, screen, Srila Bharati Goswami Maharaj also giving, if someone say on a gross level, this is not bona fide, disciple have to sit in front of Gurudev and hearing these mantras. But we can understand this with one example. When Krishna gave initiation to Brahmaji, was he directly present in front of Brahmaji on screen? I mean, in person? No. Krishna just played flute, chant the mantra, cling. And Brahmaji was not even aware and he got initiation. Subtle. It's called subtle level of understanding, not gross level. The association of father and mother gave birth to child, right? How Ved Vyasji got birth? His father Parashar Muni, he glanced, just looking in the eyes of Matsya Gandha, that beautiful lady, where? In the boat. When Vedvyas in Mathura, Vedvyasji in Mathura, he wants to cross Jamuna and he saw one lady sitting on the boat because her father boatman, but he was taking rest, so she was taking over that work. So Parashar Muni, he sat in that boat. Parashar was a king, and he glanced over Matsyagandha. She got pregnant just by glance. How Dhritarashtra and Vidura and Pandav got birth? You know this? Ved Vyaji glanced over Ambika, Ambalika, and Amba. Not Amba, two, three sisters, but one already left, and she became the cause of the death of, the killing of Bhishma Pitama. But Ved Vyaji, he glanced over them. So I am not familiar, sorry, with the names, but no, I'm not familiar with the who, Ambika, Ambalika, and Amba, three. So Ved Vyas, he glanced over one of them, and she can't see the effulgence of Ved Vyas. Understand? She closed her eyes, and then because of that, Dhritarashtra got birth with no eyes. You can pregnate anyone just by glancing over. That's subtle. And then another Ved Vyasji came, glanced over her, and she got scared to see the form of Ved Vyas. The elder one, she closed her eyes, she can't see the effulgence of Ved Vyasji. The other one got scared, and because of that, her son Pandav became weak. The child was weak and he died earlier. But Mother Kunti, she was worried because of these two daughter-in-law reactions. One got so weak, one is, Then there was one maid servant. She came forward and Ved Vyaji looked at her and she smilingly, just looking in the eyes of Ved Vyaji, she accepted that mercy from Ved Vyaji. And therefore, she gave birth to Vidur. Vidur is the son of maid servant. So how are these dealings? This is called subtle dealings. Okay. Even Ved Vyasji himself, he got birth by glancing over. So therefore, if we say video calling is not bona fide, who say this? Krishna chanted mantra kling and he initiated Brahmaji without appearance. Was not that bona fide initiation? The whole parampara starts from Brahmaji, from Krishna to Brahmaji. Evam paramparam praptam. And not only the initiation, but the knowledge is coming from Krishna to Brahmaji, to Naraji, to Ved Vyasji. And sometimes close proximity and sometimes not even proximity. Understand? Not even looking, only hearing. So many people who says, oh, how we can understand this? It's so confusing. No, it's confusing for those who still want to be on the gross level of understanding. Just like one in early 2000 year, 2004 or 5, we used to go in printing press in Delhi for printing Gurudev books. Somebody asked this question. He said, Kamsa was really a foolish person. I said, yes, we know he was foolish because he was against Krishna. But what you have to say about Kamsa? He said, Kamsa knew that the 8th child of Devaki is the cause of his death. So he acted so foolishly, keeping Devaki and Vasudeva in the prison house together. He's so foolish, he could have separated them in the prison house. In one section Devaki, in other section Vasudeva. Then no point of child. What to speak of 8th child? Even first child cannot come with their association. So he said Kamsa was foolish. If I'm in position of Kamsa, I would have separated them. Finish. What to speak of eighth child? Not even a first child can come. So his question is genuine, right? But he's thinking from that gross understanding that child only take birth from the association of mother and father. That's the gross level. Whereas Vasudev and Devaki, how Krishna got birth? Satyam Vishuddham Vasudev iti Shabdatam. Heart is pure, Vishuddha Sattva, not even mode of goodness, beyond mode of goodness, beyond the three modes of nature, Vishuddha Sattva. Krishna only come and descend in the heart, which is Vishuddha Sattva. Krishna came in the heart of Vasudeva Maharaj and he got transformed from his heart into the heart of Devaki, Mother Devaki. And from the heart of Mother Devaki, Krishna goes into the womb of Devaki. Not just like ordinary association, but this is subtle point, the subtleties of these past names. That's why they can't understand, can't conceive how Krishna can dance with 100 million gopis, one person with 100 million gold, singing and dancing. How Krishna can marry 16,108 queens. I can't even take care of two wives. One is enough for me. And they think, oh, how Krishna is taking care of 16,000 wives? Because gross. So for subtle understanding, we have to take shelter of Gurudev. We have to take shelter of scriptures. The commentaries of our acharyas to the mercy of Gurudev to understand the subtle points. And more subtle one goes to, more maturity comes. And when more maturity comes, more subtle, more qualified to go into the subtle points. And then more maturity comes to understand our dealings between Guru and disciple. First of all this, and then pastimes of Lord. It's so confusing sometimes to understand the dealings of Gurudev. What to speak of, we understand the reciprocation of Krishna. Why he did this to me? Why is giving me suffering? Who will understand this? With maturity, with subtlety. So, this text is not coming to end from 4 days. Except for Krishna Bhakti, no other education is important. Oh, I forgot to say the important point. The conclusion tomorrow. Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Tomorrow. The conclusion. But don't forget this. What we heard about Mahaprabhu pastime today. Keep this in mind with the preparation as a homework. Come to classroom tomorrow with this homework. Otherwise, you'll not understand tomorrow what I'm going to say. Okay? Hare Krishna.